see if this is a good way to learn. I'm gonna need your feedback by the end of it. If you don't like it, just say so. It doesn't bother me too much, so long as I know. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. So we're gonna be looking at blood. I'm gonna do it in small sections, covering different sections where there is overlap. I'm gonna overlap it because I don't want it to be too separate. Everything is linked, guys. Science is not some separate bogus stuff. Everything is linked to everything, or the majority of things are linked to something. Anyway, without further ado, let's get down to some business. Okay, here is the app that I downloaded. Cancel that. I want it about size 7. Let's have some nice colors involved. I'm gonna go with this blue. Let's go with blue. Okay, so what we're gonna be looking at is blood. Okay, so we're gonna be looking at blood. Okay, it's giving me green and I wanted blue. That's annoying. So now we're gonna look at the different components of blood. Number one, we're gonna look at red blood cells. Right, so what can I tell you about red blood cells? Well, number one is they are biconcave in shape. Right, this allows it to, number two, have a large surface area. Why is that good? So that it can carry more oxygen. Now I want to say this from the beginning, guys and girls. Red blood cells does not carry carbon dioxide. Okay, it does not. It carries oxygen only. Right, number three is it has a substance called hemoglobin, right, which you can write in short as HB. Now hemoglobin is what allows the oxygen to be combined to the red blood cell. So if you've got hemoglobin, it attaches to the oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin. That's a G globin. Now why is this important? Well, because it's important because number one, it allows it to attach reversibly, so it can combine to it to form oxyhemoglobin, but also it can let the oxygen go. Now that's important because obviously the oxygen needs to be delivered to respiring muscles. Okay, another thing that you need to know about the red blood cell is number four, it has no nucleus. No nucleus. So question becomes, well, why is this important? Because this gives it a larger surface area to carry more oxygen, right? So you can carry more oxygen. There's no messing about with oxygen. Your body needs it, so it's going to make space for it. Right, and next what we've got is we have so let me just zoom out there, is we could talk about, of course, white blood cells. It's the natural place to move. White blood cells. Now white blood cells are involved in killing pathogens, and it's involved in what we call the immune response, right? So it's there to protect your body when you need it protecting. Now there's two ways that it does it. In fact, it does it simultaneously, and lots of things are going on in the immune response. But number one is they can release antibodies. Now antibodies is an example of a protein, okay, but that comes in later. We'll talk about it later. Like I said, everything is linked. So it releases antibodies which basically immobilize or demobilizes pathogens, so traps pathogens, if you like. So it traps pathogens. Another type of white blood cell engulfs pathogens. Now the word engulfs, what it means is it surrounds, traps, and then swallows the pathogen, and once it does that, it ends up destroying the pathogen, so that you are happy and your body is happy and everybody is happy. Right, now let's open up a new one. Now, so that's white blood cells done and red blood cells. Next, what we can talk about is the following. Okay, so I'm going to increase so that we've got more surface area. Now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about plasma. Just excuse me while I fix this. Okay, I don't want that size. I want size 7, and that's fine. So plasma is basically a yellow fluid, and it carries quite a lot of things. Actually, it carries hormones, and waste products. And as we know, one of the waste products of respiration is carbon dioxide. Now guys, I'm going to tell you, if you're going to write CO2, right, make sure the 2 is at the bottom. If you put it at the top, you're going to lose marks. They're going to mark it wrong. Now, like I said guys, the red blood cell does not carry carbon dioxide. It is the plasma that carries carbon dioxide. And this will be carried to the lungs in order for it to be exhaled with your breathing out. But we'll cover that later. Again, everything is linked. So that's plasma. It's actually the biggest percentage of the blood, and it's something like it's 55% of the blood. Red blood cell makes up 45%. Okay, so those are the 2 big components of blood. Next, we've got platelets. Platelets, and these are fragments of other cells. And just like the red blood cells, because they are fragments, although the red blood cell is not a fragment, obviously this is, but just like the red blood cells, it does not have a nucleus. The question becomes, well, what's the job? The job is, when you have a cut, this will come and cover up the cut and form a scab, so that pathogens cannot enter. So this is my first section. I'm gonna upload this, see how it goes. Here's my whatever. So stop recording.